see cloud as a very exciting opportunity, and we see it from two different aspects. We see it from the employee's point of view. I mean, it's going to increase mobility and mobilization of workforces, allow people to work much more efficiently on the road, from home, and I think strike a much better work-life balance to do the things they've always wanted to do, but I think in some regards they've been desk-bound and tied to a PC. I think on the enterprise side we see it as a great opportunity for people or for businesses to actually realise real efficiencies now. I think, you know, if you engage and really work on a cloud strategy, I think it frees a business up then to do what it really should be doing, which is working with customers, developing new sales channels and looking at new products. I think the days of a company having to carry a huge IT and telco overhead internally are over, and I think cloud enables that. So I think people can actually get state-of-the-art solutions much more cheaply and allow them focus on the things that are really important for them. Well, we're obviously very excited about the 4G opportunity. I mean, that's why we invested 125 million in the recent the new spectrum auction. I think it's exciting for Ireland Inc. because it's going to actually allow people enjoy much faster speeds and actually do things on the move that they hadn't been able to do before. It's going to bridge something of the digital divide. I think it's going to help coverage in rural areas that in reality fixed broadband is just not going to penetrate into. So I think 4G is going to help in that respect. So I think it's going to open up the island a lot more and make sure that people are able to do the things they want to do on the move. It's not terribly clear what the services that will flow from 4G are at the moment. I think that's really the exciting part of it, because if you go back to 3G, there were a huge amount of promises at the time. And then there was a period of 4 or 5 years where people wondered, would 3G deliver on the promise? But eventually it did. And I think the catalyst for that was the developments in the handset and developments on the device side. Now I think the device side and the handset side are now so advanced that I think the exciting thing about 4G is going to be what are the services that are going to be created over the next 18 to 24 months, the ones we don't know about now, but are surely going to be enabled by speeds that are 5-6 times greater than the speeds we see on 3G now. I should say, I think the 3G speeds that we see in Ireland are actually very good, and they compare very, very favourably with international benchmarks. And I think that's one of the unheralded things of the recent spectrum auction as well, is that the new spectrum that the operators obtained allows an improvement in 3G coverage and 3G speeds as well. So as well as developments in 4G, we're going to see improvements in 3G. In reality, there are far more 3G handsets out there than there are LTE-enabled devices. So the 4G rollout is going to commence in 2013, yes, but it obviously is going to be somewhat curtailed by the fact that the rollout is going to take some time, and handset availability is going to be obviously building from a fairly low base. I think to embrace fully the digital society, I think there's a huge amount of work to be done around education. Now, I think in the primary stage, we want to get education right at the young people level to make sure we have, you know, computer literate, digital connected people coming through our schools and colleges. I think on a wider basis, what we found when we were doing our recent research around cloud is that there's actually a very, I think, a mixed level of knowledge out there in industry about opportunities like cloud. I mean, for instance, we found that half of the people that we surveyed said that they were unaware of the opportunities of cloud. And then we found that a very significant percentage of the people that said that were actually already using cloud services. They were availing of Dropbox and Google Apps. They just weren't actually aware of the services that are out there. And I just think they hadn't joined up the dots in just what was actually out there in the cloud opportunity. So I think, you know, we've a two-side thing. Work at the educational level to continue making sure that the people leaving our colleges are digitally aware. And then we need to work on, I think, the more mature part of industry, which is to make sure that we realise the opportunities that are out there. I mean, from the operator point of view, we need to build world-class networks and make sure it can avail of world-class connectivity around the country, not just, as you say, in some of the concentrated areas, say like Dublin or Cork. I think we'd all accept that there has been a digital divide in Ireland until now, and there has been limitations around the fixed broadband network. I think the growth and the penetration and the increased concentration of mobile services are going to help bridge that and actually bring much more people into the digital side of things and allow them to become connected and actually get a good connected experience. We see a lot of opportunities in the digital economy. I mean, we founded Telefonica Digital over 12 months ago now. It's a freestanding unit in Telefonica Inc. which has significant resources and backing and research and development and investment funds to actually realise the opportunities that exist in the digital world. In that area, we identified some key priority areas. Amongst them would be cloud, machine-to-machine and e-health. And there's also a lot of work going on around smart cities. I mean, you mentioned machine-to-machine there. I think it's an area of huge potential. I think only something like 2% of the world's electronic devices are connected. And some of the latest forecasts we've seen will be that there'll be 50 billion connected devices by 2020. So obviously a factor, quantum, greater than the world's population. One of the trials we've been running in Spain, in northern Spain, Smart Santander, we've installed a network of about 10,000 sensors in the city to monitor noise, pollution, water usage, power, waste. And it's, I think, a blueprint for the future about how a city can actually become really connected and really truly smart. And I think it's a fantastic investment, and it's being led by our machine-to-machine people in Telefonica Digital.